The reality of contrasts in Benidorm town and what many people do not see and do not know. Be careful on your holidays if you're going to the beach. Unpleasant series of events that just keep happening every single day. The weather forecast right now for beginning of July, and also the tourism update, all in today's news update from Benidorm. Stay tuned if you want to know slightly more about it. Let's begin. Let's start and talk shortly about the tourism update. As you all know, it is peak season officially. July and August months are one of the most expensive ones. And those when we also have the biggest affluence of people, because not only international tourists but also Spanish tourists arrive, national tourism, and also it is when children don't have any kind of school any longer, which makes it even more busy than it usually is throughout the year when we have school years, which is why hotels are absolutely packed. It's almost at full capacity, 90 something percent. Even new hotels that recently opened up, even the expensive ones, all the hotels are really busy, which is why many of them are putting the minimum nights of stay, which means that you can only book some specific days if you stay a minimum amount of nights in this place. For example, the typical one in summer is 3 nights of stay minimum. 1 night of stay, almost no places allow these because it's just inconsistent. It's impossible to clean that many rooms for the workers. It's just hard to maintain, which is why to actually ensure that the good service will be provided, it is a minimum night's stay. Usually 3, sometimes might be 5 or even 7, depending on the accommodation option. All the local excursion places, activities, water sports, the boat trips, the theme parks, everything is available and will be available up until the end of September. Many of the things will be available up until 1st of October, even November month. Some of them, however, such as the banana, the fly fish, etc., which are like proper swimming activities that you actually need to go into the sea, would be available probably up until September month before the school season will start. But there is still plenty of time to enjoy it. There's going to be some specific events like festivals. There's going to be also expositions, museum, theater, as usual and typically here in the area. And also there are plenty of brand new activities. Don't forget, we've let you know it in the past news update. There's going to be brand new activities and free of charge activities here on the beach. It's going to be in Alfaz, in Altea, and Benidorm, not too sure, but in Villajoyosa as well. For example, in Albir, during these months, there's going to be a free of charge activity, which is paddle surf or like paddle kayaking, something like this. They're going to give you like paddle boats, like or like paddle surf, like taps. And you will go free of charge in reduced groups every single Tuesday. We'll need to confirm it, but there is an official information on the website of the town hall, and you can also ask it at the tourism office here in Albir. So there's going to be like a small route that goes towards Las Calas, towards the natural park, to enjoy the views and then come back. And this is going to be happening every single time. In Altea, it's going to be more or less the same thing, but a different activity. Same in Villajoyosa. In Altea, it's going to be a free of charge excursion to the old town, like a free excursion. So it is just very interesting. It is very nice, and it's created to expand the knowledge and share everything that the area has with other fellow travelers or even locals. Free of charge activities. Who doesn't like these, right? And now let's talk about the contrasts in Benidorm, which actually made one of the main Spanish television channels to do an investigation, come to Benidorm, film it all, and put it out there on the screen for everyone to see. These contrasts are about how tourists live who come here, the vast majority, and how locals live right now. 2 different worlds in Benidorm town. And it was mostly put out like, and it is honestly true, tourists are staying in fully renovated apartments in like more or less luxurious conditions, you could say. Everything brand new or very nice, modern, nice hotels, refurbished hotels, while locals are actually staying in places that are caravans, tents. Some of them are even homeless, and others are living in a one-bedroom or a studio apartment, a whole family like of 3, 4, 5 people, even more. This is the reality right now, and honestly, Benidorm has converted itself into the most expensive town of Alicante province. It is the most expensive one in question of rentals. Rentals here, long-term ones, we're talking, increased in 58%, and that is why it's the most expensive one. It is also the one that has the biggest quality of life right now. It is the one who takes care of the solar energy, of the water efficiency, the ones who makes it pedestrian accessible. You know, it's a city that does a lot of changes, and at the same time, the quality of life and the lack of long-term rent is what is pushing the price upwards. So locals and Spanish overall who earn their money in Spain, let's say it like this, in a Spanish company with Spanish salaries, cannot afford it any longer. The average apartment's cost is between 1,500 and 2,000 euros a month. Imagine a family whose monthly income is like 2,000 something. They cannot even afford it. Like the insurance will not approve this contract because it's way more than 30% of their income, which is why it is a very, very big issue. Tourists are enjoying everything, obviously leaving the money for the economy, but at the same time, all the workers that used to live in Benidorm are forced to go outside because they cannot, even though they are working, they're receiving this money, but the salaries are just not enough. It's not always the case though, because there are plenty of residents and new residents in Benidorm, which is kind of shifting. Nowadays, more and more international residents, foreign residents are arriving to Benidorm. For example, in our migration consulting company, which is the second channel on YouTube that we have for our consulting, which is Spain Unlocked. If you didn't check it out if you're interested in moving to Spain at some point of your life, which is where we show basically that the type of people is changing. So mostly those who have slightly better economic situation, those who have slightly higher salaries or higher pensions, just slightly more income, those are the ones who are moving to Benidorm town. And those who cannot afford it any longer are moving out to the nearby villages, even outside, way more outside, like Villajoyosa, typical small villages around the area where you could technically live with a slightly lower rent. That is what is going on right now, and it is insane how different it is. You know, how someone can enjoy all these things, like, you know, be in a spacious apartment, enjoy their holidays here. It's all like luxurious, not all, but plenty of things are brand new. It's energy efficient. It is a nice, pleasant furniture, spacious areas, while others who were once locals have to live in tents and on caravan parkings because they cannot even afford an apartment here any longer. And all this was on the national television, one of the main channels. This was an open investigation, and honestly, it is true, but it is bizarre when you put contrast just like this. Not everything is black and white. There's plenty of shades in between, but it is kind of true that everything's changing. Benidorm is becoming like a fancy place to live, a place where not everyone can afford to live, more or less similar like Albir village, which is right nearby, and it is becoming a luxurious place where only few can afford rent nowadays, and also to come on holidays, because not everything is as cheap as it used to be. Let's continue with the last news, and it is something that we have been telling the past years, but this year it's been really ugly situation. Lately, almost every single day in the area, either it's Altea or it's Albir or it's Benidorm or it's Villajoyosa, like in all this Mediterranean region, almost every single day someone drowns or there is a really emergency situation on it. We've seen just a few days ago a couple in Albir who were, I suppose they were diving next to the rocks of the natural park. One of them didn't make it. The boat was searching for his body basically, and the other one got such an extreme shock that they had to evacuate him with the boat to Benidorm's hospital because in between of a panic attack and just the horrific, like horrible situation. This was something that you would not even let happen to your worst enemy, you know. And this happened in Albier just a few days ago. There were also no lifeguards for some reason, and they came together all of a sudden afterwards, but there were no lifeguards when this was happening. And this should be addressed too, by the way. The same happened in Benidorm, but it wasn't as bad. It wasn't a tragic ending. The person ended up at the hospital but survived. It happened in La Cala Almadraba in Benidorm, which is one of the calas of the natural park at Rincon de Loix, where the Levante beach is located. One person was evacuated with firefighters because they are the only ones who were able to access to that cala with a vehicle. And that person is all right, but people faint. Okay, this is very, very common and not a lot of people talk about this, but we have extreme temperatures. You've seen just a few days ago, we've posted videos for you guys when we had like 38 degrees. And on the sunshine, on the Levante beach, when you walk or where you stay on the sunshine, the humidity, the rays from the sun, plus like the typical temperature, it makes you feel like plus 44, okay? Plus 44. Which is why many people are fainting. Many people are getting dizzy with headaches, which means that they get like a sunstroke, like a heat stroke. Their temperature is elevating. They're feeling really, really bad. Some people are fainting in the water, which is the worst thing that can happen. Others are drinking too much and going to the beach, or having very, very full meal, like meat, a lot of fish, you know, like really potatoes, like a lot of food, and going for a swim immediately afterwards inside of the water, which can cause indigestion, and it's just people just, you know, like drown in the water. So all of this is very, very common right now, and these are not the only cases. There is way more. So be cautious, please, during your holidays. How to avoid it, you've seen it already. Do not stay a long time just on the sunshine. If you want to get tanned, cover your head at least with something. Go frequently into the water to lower your body temperature. Drink a lot of cool water, not ice cold, but like cool water. Hydrate yourselves very well. Use some sunscreen. Don't stay on midday, really like in the open surfaces for a long time. Have some breakfast before you go to the beach, at least something. Don't go like empty stomach, because some people faint with it as well. Just be careful, and if you're not a good swimmer, do not go deep. Albier Beach is known for being very deep. There is immediate like lowering from the beach. It goes like very steep. Inside there is rocks. It is beautiful because there are some fish out there and some sea life, but it is dangerous. So if you're not a good swimmer, Albier Beach is not for you guys. Use Benidorm's ones. These are not deep at all. These are incredible for swimming. Careful with the stones. And once again, don't go too deep, and don't stay such a big amount of hours on the exposed sunshine, because like this you will avoid plenty of issues. And hospitals nowadays have a lot of work with these types of cases, and it's very frequent right now. So be careful. We thought we should address it so that you would know how to stay safe during your holidays if you're coming now onwards. And now let's talk about the weather forecast. What is going on? Well, we've had some heat waves and probably will have some more to come. The weather and the temperatures are more or less the same. It's might be a real feel up until 38, even 40 degrees at some points of the day, especially if you are on the sunshine. In the shade, it's going to be around 30, 32, depending where you are. Remember that Mediterranean Avenue of Benidorm is like a unique part where the temperatures can be even up to 6, 7 degrees lower than by the seaside. So take that into consideration if you need to refresh yourselves a little bit or have a walk down that avenue. There shouldn't be any kind of rain. There might be some clouds. Overall, just a typical summer weather as it usually is. We've had already a couple of heat waves this year. We'll see what's going to be happening. Still 2 months of summer, calendar summer at least, to go. And the water temperature is increasing more and more. Right now it's of 26, less than 27 degrees, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe this year we will even reach a record of almost 30 degrees water temperature. As things go, it is quite possible, but it is not good at all for our sea environment and all the fish that are living in there. Thank you for accompanying us in today's Benidorm news update. We wish you a lovely day, and we'll see you here on the channel very, very soon with a brand new video. Goodbye!